Welcome back to a corporate time. So we've got another event to promote this weekend. It's event crazy.
Yeah.
This
It's event time.
This one's at Satellite Beach.
Yes.
And
You been to the Satellite Beach?
I was just there.
It is one of the nicest beaches.
I was like
Basically a resident now.
Yeah, he is. He goes there all the time.
I ride around. I act like I own the place. Also,
He told me he's dreaming of taking his wife up to Mavericks and maybe, fooling around the parking lot.
I've got I know Mark Villain chambered in case I get pulled over at the cops because I knew the cops. He knows the cops.
Don't tell him that.
Yeah. And they're like, oh,
you're
me.
going to pull a Dan Newland?
I was gonna say I'm Mark Villain's cousin. That's my thing. But
yeah.
you're both white, and then most of them are like,
I'm Billy Villain.
Well, my uncle is a cop in Satellite.
No,
you might get called out on that one.
Yeah, you're like, I'm Mark Villain's cousin.
I'm
And
his
he's like,
uncle.
Yeah, and he's like, well, I'm really his cousin.
And then I'm like, Daddy.
Oh, then they're
I was like,
tasing you,
God.
and then you're pooping your pants.
Mark Villain's here. How you
Hey,
doing, Mark?
What's up, guys?
Good
So,
to see you, man.
we're talking about locals only surf competition happening
only.
all weekend long at Satellite Beach. What's the name of the park again?
It's it starts off Friday night. It's at
Yeah.
the Satellite Beach Skate Park, and the very next morning it's at Pelican Beach Park in Satellite Beach, and it starts around 9 a.m. goes till dark when the bands play. Sunday the exact same thing. Starts around 9 a.m. Bands play at dusk when we do awards, and all day.
So I was curious about this. I was going to text you when I was
You
there.
gonna enter the
because-
competition this year? You're a local now.
Well, they're actually rebuilding the dunes as we speak because I was there. Like they're bringing in trucks full of sand, and they can't dredge it because there's some endangered worm and the turtles out
don't
there.
hurt the worm.
What?
Don't you dare hurt the worm.
That's what the wizard told
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
But he said they can't dredge it out, so they have to
That
get
sounds
it from
credible.
a quarry.
Can't dredge it. Too many worms. Yeah, I've heard that.
And but what got me thinking about this is there was so much sand taken from the beach, right?
Yeah.
And then it has to be just pulled out to the ocean, which I would imagine
There's
affects,
endless sand out there.
No, I know, but it affects breaks differently if there's more.
Sure.
Because
The
now,
topography underneath the water, yeah.
Because that's all it is how the waves are created. Is the swell coming up and hitting a shallow portion,
Sure.
and then
it has to move somewhere.
So like that area that you've been doing locals only. How many years now?
This will be the 9th year.
Ninth year.
Congratulations, man.
Has that changed the break at all, right, in that area?
Yeah, since the last hurricane, everything's in our whole stretch. It's kind of been off. It's not horrible, but it is not like it used to be. All the sandbars are all weird, and
So is it less, or is there any better parts of it? Because the sand, the
Are you
sand
saying are there any pros?
Like-
more worms, less sand.
Yeah. I mean,
Damn
if you're pro worms, I mean, if you like to get out there and meet some worms, you're good. But if you like surfing, probably worse.
but still good enough to have the competition and everything?
Oh yeah.
Do the worms surf? Are they in? Like, can we integrate them into?
Ocean worm.
They're not
division.
gonna rename it Worm Beach, are they? Like that would be bad.
Oh, I forgot to mention Eric will be out there
Yeah.
with the Tom and Dan tent,
He's anti-worm, very
giving away
anti-worm. That guy.
stuff. And,
Don't mention it to him.
What is there anything different this year that the prior years? I know with
Please
COVID.
say no. Please say it's exactly the same.
With COVID and stuff in the past 2 years, that created a bunch of hassle. And then, anything else that's changed?
No. This year we're adding bands. We've never had
Yes.
live music at the event. Besides just having like DJs play music in between heats and stuff. We still have a DJ playing music, but at the end of each day, we have bands playing.
Oh, I love
band
it.
playing Saturday, band playing Sunday.
I love
that's
what you
awesome.
said. I'm gonna make this more complicated. I love that. Yeah, that's
now-
the Tom and Dan way, is to say like, what's the hardest thing I can do at the end of the day? I know, organize live music.
And stages are cheap, right?
Yeah, we just found out. Why'd you bring that up?
Double dip.
He just ate one.
Oh, it's fine.
Don't mention the stage we had to eat.
If you want it done right, you got to pay for it. Although
Yeah.
it's just a platform. With some speakers.
Yeah, he was trying to buy them online. He's got me Craiglisting it. Oh, it's a nightmare.
Oh, yeah, so like,
Then he's like, how quickly can Ganon the Magic Man nail boards together?
Really, you put 5 pallets of them together.
Stop.
You can build the stage.
No, you can't.
Anyway.
I could buy another mini truck.
yeah. Let's talk about that mini truck.
Yeah, I want to buy one.
And then I want to talk about Doo Doo Island. I'm mad at it.
I already know where you went.
Yeah. Well, now I got everybody sending me the coordinates to these crap islands, and everybody they don't email you.
So-
hold on a second. I have to get this off my chest. yes. They don't email Tom. They email me because apparently I'm the responsible one. Newsflash, Orlando, I've never been the responsible one. I just answer emails.
Now,
isn't that right, Sam?
That's true.
Never been responsible in my life. And now everybody's saying, oh, you got to go to HJ714. No doo-doo there. I don't care about your crap islands. I don't give a damn about
What if they email me?
email Tom and
They
send
don't
him
think you read your email.
I do.
I have 1,000 doo-doo island. I have maps. I have schematics. I have coordinates. All to these crap islands.
It's just Tom at tomdan.com.
Send him
it's
the
actually,
islands.
It's longer to email show. Anyway, so now that I think about it, I'm mad at Mark. But so let's rewind a little bit because Villain has opened up a new static location.
You can't even call it a location. It's amazing looking.
Yeah, with because the Villain coffee truck used to be parked in the Goombase parking lot, and then next door to the Goombase parking lot now is a Villain store with a coffee store inside.
It's beautiful.
And merchandise. It's amazing what you've done with it.
Just drop by to see how stores should look.
Yeah.
You know, like it's really cool.
You sell surfboards.
It's a full surf shop. Yeah, surf shop, skate shop, plus clothing,
love
coffee.
it, man.
Yeah, and and you got a wall of Villain clothes, and then the coffee is great. It's beautiful. You'll see it on your way if you're driving anywhere in Satellite Beach, right?
Cool.
But Mark, you've been living in Satellite for how long?
My whole life.
Whole life. So you grew up there. You're established business there. Like I said, I see Villain everywhere in Satellite. Like it's on, stickers on cars, golf carts, people wearing Villain
Bikes,
clothes.
surfboards.
Restaurants are have Villain outfits that are they're sponsored by Villain. Like
schools.
Me and the Wizard, like he runs it. He's like, Villain makes all the high schools close. Like what?
Thankfully, because so the kids don't look like they look good.
Here's why I'm mad at you, because I did mention at one time in our conversations or business meetings, because I often go down.
Which is it? Because
we have business meetings with Mark. I tell him a bunch of cockamamie ideas. Anyway, so
I don't think you've ever told him an idea.
I think the last time I talked to you, I was talking about taking my boat down to the Spoil Islands, and you're like, "Oh yeah, I know about it's a little south of Satellite, it's near kind of Melbourne."
There's a reason they're called Spoil.
Yeah. But you never said, "Oh, it's doo-doo crazy," because you've had to have heard in your entire life of living there.
Don't go there. The birds crap everywhere.
The Spoil Islands are doo-doo crazy because now
even Jimmy Buffett knows that those islands are covered in doo-doo.
Now that I've experienced it, if anybody tells me they're going to go down there, I'm going to say, it's doo-doo crazy. Don't go. Or you go there, but expect doo-doo.
Wait, the worst part wasn't that he told me about the doo-doo. He said, once you navigate past the doo-doo, you get into a forest of bird bones.
You're at Boneyard.
What the F? Somebody explain to me. I am a lifelong, born in Florida, Floridian that enjoys surfing. Tell me why I would want to go to the island made of bird bones.
It's bird.
Are we playing Dungeons and Dragons?
Different bird carcasses that are in various stages of decay. They're all littered the whole island with bird poop everywhere. It's just like no one told me.
He took his kids there.
And
they're running around in the carcasses, and there's crap everywhere.
And I'm like, is this like they're I'm sure they're inhaling the particles.
And you're not even drinking, are you? At least having a White Claw. Oh, okay, good. I was gonna say at least having a White Claw there would like make it a little bit better.
I have to stand at the very edge of the island just so I get away from the doo-doo stink
or something.
But
the stink. He said it had a pungent ammonia. No, but bird poo is a different type of stank.
Yeah, and when there's, gallons and gallons of, maybe 100 gallons.
Like you're standing
maybe
in
2,000 gallons.
Like you're standing in a nail polish factory, you know?
Yeah. Which one did you go to? Straight
we went to XJ518 because they don't have names.
I took a left and then went down to the first one.
Lazy as
Never
hell.
go to the first one.
He's lazy as hell. He turned. He's like, "What's it gotta be?"
All my kids were bitching about the cold, and everybody, my Crystal, was like,
put your window
it
on.
was a great day to come out. I'm like, well, goddamn it, what am I supposed to do? Like, I had my, it was gonna be Saturday because I knew if we waited till Sunday, there would be some excuse like, let's, I'm like, we're going anyway.
Wait, what was the excuse?
Have you heard about the bird poop?
I've seen it before, but there's so many islands you can just go to the other side or
Are there
find a greener one.
go to the sandbar.
Other islands that don't have as much poop?
I think so, but now you're questioning. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know.
Well, in my
During
mind, they all have
COVID,
to have it. It's like
well,
the
think
birds
about
didn't
it.
just choose one island to poop on. It has to
Maybe
be
they
the whole
did.
string.
Think about it. During COVID, maybe the birds had to stay on the island. You know, you're not supposed to venture out.
No,
maybe
they
pooped
don't
it
know.
up
It
good.
came from birds. Or something did.
Are you sure it's bird poop? And why are
A
they
lot
all
of-
dying? Should we be concerned that one of the islands they're all dying?
The worms.
I've seen. This is how The Last of Us starts.
No, birds die all the time.
Wait a minute. Worms are The Last of Us.
Yeah.
I've seen the first episode. It's worm crazy.
You know what's weird?
And they come out of your mouth.
You would think I've never seen a bird drop dead, but they
I
have
have.
to be dropping dead at all times,
Yeah,
right?
I
There's
saw-
so many of
I
them.
saw a bird drop dead mid-flight.
Do they?
Yeah.
No, they
His
probably
tiny
land.
little heart just gave out. And you know what? A lot
Do
of
they
people
die?
think they fall flat. Like everybody's seen the video of a squirrel falling out of a tree and he just falls on the ground. Birds don't. Like gliders, they glide right to the ground.
No, that,
Google it.
anyway.
Google it.
So everything done for locals only is now just waiting it out.
Yeah, but it's one of those. 1,000 things come up as fast as you knock one thing out. So now it's just kind of like getting through the emails and the text and the.
Well, at least we could take you away
complaints
from
and-
being so busy to waste your time here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well-
that's my excuse. I can't answer
Okay.
anything.
Okay, gotcha.
But I feel like we've got a ton of listeners on the coast, and you know, want to remind everybody that you know, it's a completely free event, and I was
We've
there
been out
last year.
there,
It was
yeah.
cool.
It's great.
And then watching really high quality surfing is rare. Because I feel like most people have been to the beach and seen surfers out there, but
you
they
see some fat dad out there with a boogie board
yeah.
getting sucked out. And
When you see someone surf really well, it's shocking. You're like, whoa,
It's
like
smooth.
this guy could do it because most of everybody is just barely catching a wave, and these
it's
guys,
relaxing.
like you rarely see a whip. Like you see someone do a whip, you're like, that guy's got the goods. Anyway, sorry, Mark.
Never seen a whip.
And
Orange whip, 3 orange whips.
Do you just invite him here to yell at him?
yeah,
Yeah.
I've been
You
yelling-
found- you
I've been
found us
yelling
out.
mood.
We talked
Sorry,
about
Mark.
this. We're
Yeah,
like,
come to the event. We got
Tom
worms.
Tom even asked
We
me.
got
He's like,
worms.
I hope Mark gets here soon. I need to yell at somebody. I was like, well, he'll be here
Oh my
soon.
God.
buddy.
He's
Let's
the
get
most
it-
chill dude, and you just scream at him.
Let's talk about the worms for a second. 'cause I wanna-
They're endangered worms, and that's why they can't.
Look up Satellite Beach endangered worms. I have never heard of this.
They make like the rocks that make the reef.
They're the rocks.
Yeah.
So the worms,
they're
the
endangered
Satellite
worms.
Beach worms are out there. They
Yeah.
make the rocks that make the beach. These
Yeah.
are important ass worms.
Yeah, well, you can't suck them out of there because then they end up.
I don't want to suck
yeah,
them out of
yeah.
there. I want them to stay put.
Also, and tell me if this is right. So they're building those dunes back up, you know, and
The worms are?
No,
They're slaves. They're like, oh my God.
They have dump trucks. They're just dumping them in and building the dunes back.
I would give you $1,000.
Orlando
just-
Sentinel.
Oh,
God.
I want to say a worm
Paywall.
with a worm with a hard hat on.
By the way, when I see that paywall, it doesn't matter what the article is. I'll never pay for
No,
it.
I'm never paying for
I'll
that.
never ever in my life pay for that. So you're
You know
wasting
what I'll
your
do?
life.
I will actually go to Reddit and I'll search it until I find somebody that stole it and put it on Reddit, and I will read that, and then I'm
Yeah.
stealing it.
yeah.
Every time I'm stealing it. Come get me.
I also convince myself that the article has got to be BS.
Yeah,
You're
that's it.
bound to paywall.
Yeah, if it's behind a paywall, I just think it's not good news.
Anyway, so my kids were climbing up and down the new dune.
Yeah, tear them down. Tear them down. We're working so hard. Have the trash kids tear the dunes down.
And then I was like, I don't think you're supposed to be up there. Like
The worms are mad as hell.
No.
Get off them dunes.
But it is like playground quality sand. Like they're bringing this.
Yeah,
like,
but it's
this,
not a playground. That's the beauty of it.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But it's like it's
Like people's yards are playground quality as well, but you shouldn't be doing angels in them.
Well, because a lot of people don't know this. Like regular sand, speaking of worms, has like worms and ringworm in it,
Yeah, it
and
does.
like it has cat doo doo.
Yes.
It has a bunch of
Yeah, it does.
bacteria. So you have to get playground quality.
You do. You got to be
So that it's pure,
fine and
yeah,
pure.
yeah,
It's just
yeah.
like cocaine.
And they're putting that in the dunes, and it's very attractive to my sons. who
Yeah,
like
they
sand.
tear it all down and make it flat again.
Oh, they'll yell at you.
and I did tell them, I was like, I don't think they want
How
you to
long
be
did you
out
let
there.
them play before you like quote yelled at them?
No, they went.
They've never been yelled
No,
at.
I'm like, you
They're
know,
doing sand angels.
Yeah.
I'm like, there are people around here. You can't
Just do it for
there's
20
no-
minutes.
Anyway, so don't play in the dunes, kids. You heard it from Tom.
Tell your own kids that.
King of
No,
Satellite
they're
Beach.
fine. They're fine. They're worm approved.
All right. Anything else, Mark? Sorry.
My
You didn't say
God.
much. Just yelled at you the whole time.
No, it's good. Like I said, all day Saturday, all day Sunday. We got beer trucks. We got a bunch of food trucks. Like
What bands are playing out there?
the first day is Casual Friends on Saturday.
Nice.
They were a popular band in the area called Caddyshack, and they kind of regroup. This is their first show back, so we're kind of
Cool.
excited for that.
Very cool.
And then the Sunday band is called Tone Deaf Pedestrians, and this is the band I think I told you about before. They're a bunch of kids, but
Yeah,
they're
Oh, I
yeah.
saw
Yeah,
them.
but they're
I
awesome.
saw them.
they're actually surfing in the contest and playing
Wow.
music. So
The kids,
Oh,
these guys,
kids are
what are
tough,
they called
tough.
again? What is
These
their
kids
name?
are getting to work.
Yeah.
Tone Deaf Pedestrians.
Yeah. you're-
Tone deaf
they're
pedestrians.
okay.
How
Those-
old are they?
From like 12 to 14, I think.
Yeah, the
My
really
God.
little one rips, dude. They're so good, and I saw them play, and they'll just do like your favorite dad covers, but they do a really nice job of them. They're good.
Oh yeah, it's like Sublime, Red Hot Chili
Yeah,
Peppers. Like,
they're really fun.
Like, I want everybody out there that has a 12 to 14-year-old to be listening to this because it's going to make you sad.
We're talking to you, Matt Gates.
Could you imagine your kids surfing in a competition in the morning and then playing a show at night? Most adults can't do that. They're too
Yeah.
lazy to do that. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's
and
like,
then they work the beer tent after that.
Yeah,
but
good
that's
pours too. Good pours.
It's the beach kids are stronger. I'm telling you.
Well,
Yeah.
the wizard's son is like,
Yeah,
isn't he like already the mayor of the jungle or
Yeah,
something?
well, that's
Like,
neglect. You just you let them run wild. But that's what it takes. You just let your kids go run wild on
and
the
they
beach.
find their way.
And they become adults and they start learning how to play instruments and they surf.
Raised by worms.
Yeah.
But you don't really interact with them much, right?
No,
no,
because
no.
you're a beach animal yourself.
Yeah.
So
Well, I don't see Maisie. I'm not a beach animal,
Yeah.
but I'm always in my darkly lit bedroom. And when she knocks on the door, I'm just like, get out of here.
That's called a city troll.
Oh, city troll.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
different. That's totally different. All right, locals only surf competition starts on Friday with the skate competition at the Satellite Beach Skate Park.
Yep.
And then Saturday and Sunday is actually the surf competition. Tons of clothing for
All
sale
the
there.
clothing, buy a surfboard, buy some
Vendors.
coffee, get some great food, get a beer, casual friends playing, which I believe we've played on the show before. Pedestrians.
Tone Deaf
Tone
Pedestrians.
Deaf.
Tone Deaf Pedestrians.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. And you check out both of those bands, support them. If
Yeah.
you have not seen them, they're really fun to see.
Oh,
Pick up-
and it's all free.
Yeah.
Everything's free.
That's insane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mark's he
Yeah,
does the dumb things like we do.
It's-
That's a dumb thing, Mark. We do that too.
Great beach day because Satellite Beach is beautiful, man. It's
It-
real nice.
Not only is it beautiful, but it's a little more, and I hope it stays this way. It's a little more like authentically beachy. You know, if I can say, it's not.
They're trying to change it, but we're fighting.
Yeah, I mean, you want a little bit of both. You want it to live cohesively. Of course, time marches on. but-
I'm trying to change that.
Yeah, I know you are.
I'm
This is high-rise
I'm
Tommy.
I'm trying to bring in the big corporations. I'm like, they need a Ron Johnson.
Oh my god.
We're at the beach, a
this
big
guy, he's
bar.
like, this place needs a CC's pizza.
Yeah, bring in the corporate money. Anyway, sorry, Mark. We did more bad than good.
We really did.
Yeah,
We did, really did.
We'll be right back.
Awesome. Man, that was funny. Thank you for allowing us to yell.
Too much energy today. God.
It's the Coke Zero.
Yeah, it's new Smooth Boys. Where's that go? Tuesday 2.
Tuesday 2.
Yep, I got it. All right. We have a lot of time to kill, so I'm guessing we're gonna.
We're gonna go. Let's do some content for the February 20th.
Okay.
For ACT.
Okay.
Because we got to knock that out anyway.
Okay.
And
I didn't
then,
know if you wanted me to take us off Twitch.
well, we might as well because I want to have Chelsea
on
on
Twitch,
Switch.
yeah. Okay.
So let's do 30 minutes of beef and then be done.
30 minutes of beef.
Yeah, that's a new segment we do. You haven't been a part of 30 Minutes of Beef?
Everything else good?
Yeah, it's good. Now we're just like last minute, like
Yeah, getting everything.
all permits and just getting it all finalized. But it's been
Good seeing you, man.
yeah, same. Always a pleasure. Anytime you guys on the beach, come let me know.
I know.
He's there.
Yeah.
Man, I'm dancing machine, so I'm always holding down Puppy or something.
Eh.
But he's almost to a point where I can make it that way.
Yeah, every time I'm there, like this, I was taking the boat out, so that's all day, rigmarole. And then the kids, it's
If you
But-
put in a boat ramp and head to the inlet, and there's a sandbar that comes out,
oh, it's
and that's where it's nice and
So you had north.
south.
Oh,
You had it
it's
absolutely
Sebastian?
incorrect. No, I'm kidding.
The absolute wrong direction.
Yeah, the 180, right,
I
Sam?
put on the second bridge. Is that what's that?
Oh,
bridge?
you're pretty far from there then. So yeah, the better islands are more south.
Okay.
If you go to like Christensen's Landing, it's the boat ramp, and it's nice. It's a nice.
See,
boat
that
ramp.
sounds better than
Flounder and-
Spoil Island.
Is it
Sounds
all-
gross. Christensen's
US
Landing.
Okay, is it all the way near Melbourne then?
Past Melbourne toward
Oh,
Malabar. Like it
okay.
takes maybe 30 minutes from
Gotcha, okay.
satellite, but you can put in it right there, and the water's nice. And
Okay.
Because the inlet, so everything's cleaner.
Yeah. That's you get the.
Oh, yeah, I know which ones you went to. Those are rough.
Yeah, I know. Oh, no,
He didn't think you were dumb enough to go to those.
You went to the rough bird island.
I went to Part 2 New Island.
They're tough-ass birds and
But
time.
the Google review said it was paradise.
Maybe they wrote it on the wrong island. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
maybe they're
People
clowning.
are dumb.
Oh, dude, the new logo looks great. You got it on today, right?
Oh, the
Yeah, that guy. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
he's cute.
Yeah, he's great.
Harvey Groves, and we did a bunch of Splash Inlet, Smathers Bridge, like all local landmarks.
Yeah, that's
But
great.
Our next launch for the first week of April is cool. It's Be Easy, but it's like Western, kind of like goofy cowboy themed.
Cool. Very cool,
70s
man.
Cowboy kind of.
Oh, we wore the same shorts today. Look at that.
okay.
Yeah, look at that.
We're
Yeah,
like-
I burned through these things,
Dude,
man.
We have gray too now, gray, black, and dude, it's.
I'll hit up the site.
It's my everyday.
I'll hit up the site. Yeah, man. Always good seeing you. Give your team some love from us, man.
We're just gonna have your recording scheduled.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
I'll text you later.
Keep that. What did you want to do, buddy?
Just some content for that February the 20th.
Okay.
Let's just make it generic and maybe do some emails.
Yeah, we've got some older ones. Let's dig
'cause
through the email pile.
We only got 20 minutes or so. We'll just do one segment.
Lately, and I think after Christmas, I'm just now getting my voice back, like used to dailies, like doing long recording days. Would you like to start?
Yeah,
I can start. What is this one?
It'll
Just
be
February
Monday one.
Oh,
Yeah.
one. We're not gonna really plug anything, I guess, or is there anything around there that?
Let's see what's after the 20th. Hold on. Sanford Porch Fest.
Yeah, let's plug Porch Fest.
Yep.
Want to do
The
that?
25th.
All right, I'll start and kick it to you then. Here we go. In 3, 2. It is a corporate time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Sam, our producer, is here. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
Hey, man, are you? I didn't mean to sound like Josh Wolf there. Hey,
Hey,
man.
man.
Hey, man. But I do love Josh Wolf. But tell me about Porch Fest. Are we ready?
Huge.
Are we ready to go?
Well, we sponsored it this year,
Yeah.
and also our Air T&D is actually going to be a porch at Porch Fest.
I love that, man. We've never been able to do that. We've mentioned it a couple times, but we really didn't know. I mean, you kind of got to get in there early, right, to get your.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
you gotta
this,
sign up.
This
Yeah,
was something
you gotta
we
sign up
we
a
signed up
while
last
ago.
year,
Yeah.
and that so everything's set. It's February 25th. It's a free event, and what it is there's multiple musicians that are playing on the front porch of different Sanford houses all around Sanford.
Yeah.
And when you get there, you'll get a list of show times and where everybody's going to be at. And basically, it's a gigantic street party with all these cool musicians playing on the front porch
Yeah.
of historic Sanford houses.
Like live acoustic acts everywhere. I'm
Yeah.
talking everywhere.
And, they have PAs and stuff, so it's not just acoustic. And then every, I guess, act is different throughout the whole
Super
Sanford,
unique
but-
acts, I mean, you could find just about every genre of music known to man out there.
Yeah, and-
just about anything you can think of.
And we'll be hanging out at the Air T&D all day because there will be acts all day on our porch. So if you want to come by and say what's up.
Yeah.
We'll be there hanging out. I talked to Throwbacks across the street because that's
Nice.
across the street from our house, and they said they're going to open up their back patio for us and any of our listeners that want to go by and get some drinks.
Nice.
Because it is literally across
3 steps. 3 big steps.
10 foot from our house is Throwbacks back
Samantha
patio.
can literally take 2 strides and order a White
Yeah,
Claw. or
yeah,
Do a
whatever.
split, and I'm
Yeah,
there.
hey, don't talk about that.
So that's Sanford Porch Fest on Saturday.
Yes, sir. We neglect our email bags so much. Let's jump back in there. We've been doing good. Samantha, do you have any emails?
I
that
got
we
a
can-
ton of emails.
All right.
This one says BDM Tip Touch. Just got off the Disney Wish, where on the first day they held a baby race. Families put their crawling babies at the start point and see if they can make it to the other side.
That's hilarious.
They announced the family was from Orlando. The father was in his late 30s, so I possibly asked, "Do you listen to Tom and Dan?" He said yes. So then I said, "Are you a BDM?" He said yes again. I put out my finger and he stuck out a fist. LOL. Guess some people forget about tip touching.
Well, I mean, your baby's in a race. You're all, you're very.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
like,
come
well,
on.
what's happening?
Yeah, I
I,
mean, you're-
get confused when people come up to me pointing the finger. I'm
I'm
like,
like,
what?
he's got a gun.
I'm
Like, or
like,
I've got, like,
What's
a-
on my shirt?
Yeah. I looked at them like, oh, the thing.
We have
Yeah,
purposely
yeah.
set
It's a
ourselves up to
weird-
do that old trick. You remember when people would like point at your shirt and then you look down and they just take their hand
Right.
and swipe your nose.
Yeah.
We should change our handshake and make it okay.
The bully,
So
the
yeah,
finger
no,
bully.
this is the way it works. If I come out to you and I do the finger and you get the finger, boom. All right, no harm, no foul. But if I come out, I give you the finger, and you give me a fist, I'm gonna swipe your nose, right?
Okay, they
And
don't
then
know
if
that.
you decide to fight me, that's just the way the world rolls.
I like that.
He says, cool to see just having someone from the Orlando area. There is a chance that they listen to Tom and Dan. Side note, they say don't take or leave anything from Castaway Key, but after getting to my room, I noticed one of my Croc tip touch charms was missing after I already found it on the beach once. So if anything bad happens to the show, I'm sorry.
No, Seagull already ate that and crapped it out on the hot dog table.
yeah. Or it killed them.
Yeah, it did.
Most likely it killed them.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what's in those Croc charms? You know how many? Like a lot of people don't know. Like we're not a merchandising company.
Yeah.
But here's a fun fact: we sold so many Tom and Dan Croc charms. That's how I bought my Tesla. It's not a fun fact.
The Croc charm is popular with.
I got some new ones last week.
I see a bunch of kids have them.
I got two new ones last week. Maisie went to a Baldwin Park, like some sort of. What do they do? A bazaar? They're always having a bazaar, some
yeah.
sort of affair. It's like
Event.
living in Morocco. It's like you're always walking through the tapestries.
Yeah.
And there's always some dad selling his homemade beard oil, and I'm like, oh my god, like,
Is it worth it for them?
kill your dream.
How much beard oil?
Never
is he
gonna
selling
have
you?
it. You know what? You've been loading those Rubbermaids into your Corolla for the last 3 years, and how many?
Are you making enough?
How
to
many
make
beard
it worth
oils
it?
have you sold?
Because you have to pay for that vending space. So then after that, you have to.
And you got a branded tent. You
So
got flags.
So let's say you have to at least make what is that? $150 to be there? Probably
think
more.
it's like
in Baldwin.
75. They're
75
pretty
bucks.
nice
Okay.
about it.
So you got to make 75 before you're even possible to make it.
And just your time away from your family.
Yeah,
You're just sitting there with
for
beard
hours.
oil.
Yeah. As people like look at your
Yeah,
stuff.
like, I
just
don't have a
walk-
beard. What is that? They never understand. They're
Yeah.
like, what is this oil? Why would I oil my beard? My beard's fine just being dry and gross.
And then you got to do the fake salesman talk.
You're like, well, this is gonna make the ladies will really
you're
love
like,
it. And
oh,
then the person won't buy, and then you sit there, and then you realize your dream is a pile of crap, and nobody wanted your stuff anyway. It's not even that good. Regular beard, you can buy good beard oil at Target.
Same thing with honey.
I feel the same way about honey
it's
too.
the same.
You have honey in your family. Do you say that to him? Do you like, why are you doing this?
I
You're like, oh, it's so good.
yeah. I pretend like,
Yeah.
oh, I can taste.
I did
the
that too. I did that over the
smokiness.
weekend. I lied to somebody. They're like, hey, man, this is honey I made. And they're like, it's local, so it'll take away your allergies. I'm like, I'm unstuffy already. You know, like I was
Yeah.
lying the whole time. I was
And they're
lying.
like, I could taste the hibiscus because this
Yeah.
was the bees were by
This
the
one's
bees. or
got
whatever.
this one's got
I
now.
can't taste
You're
anything.
gonna taste a little back end of this, or you're gonna taste some lavender.
Yeah.
You taste the lavender? You taste it? I'm like, yeah, I got it.
This
I
one's
got the
dark. This
lavender.
one's the same thing. It's
Yeah,
all the same.
whatever. A grown man playing with bees. What is that? What are you, a baby? Bugs are for children, not for grown-ups. You know what men should play with when they get older? Their penis and money. That's it.
And guns.
Yep.
All right. What's that? Next email.
Tom, Dan, and Samantha Ann. Jim from Lakeland here.
Oh, he's writing emails
He's
now?
writing it now.
Wow.
The crew was discussing whether Lil Dansby would lose his testicles when he gets neutered. The answer is he doesn't have to. The miracle of modern science has come to the rescue with Nudicles, replacement testicles for dogs.
Not doing it.
These are high-quality, medical-grade silicone testes with the shape and feel of the real thing.
No, I like the horrifying empty sack. I like that.
Nudicles have been around for a while, and when you see the Westminster judges cupping a dog's package, this is one of the banned objects they're checking for. Dan, be a good papa and get Dansby a cartoonishly oversized set of St. Bernard Nudicles
Get a
so he
big
can be
one.
king of the dog park.
Well, that's
Torture
like a
them.
lady getting like the,
dragging.
Yeah, that's like this porn
Just for a
stars.
joke.
The porn stars that get the triple F. Like there was
Yeah,
there's
painful.
one. There's this one porn star called Dixie Dynamite, and when I would look at it, you could see her skin was stretched so tight that if you'd taken a small pin and like tapped, you just blow out of there or something.
Animals, they'll continue living with whatever they've got
They
to
don't
live
have a
with.
concept, yeah.
Like if they lose their leg or whatever, anything, they'll just continue living, and it seemingly doesn't bother them that much. Like you'll see animals that have
Well, it
missing
can't bother
things.
them.
Yeah, because they're not bothered by stuff because their brain doesn't work like ours.
Yeah.
Like they don't get depressed
You're
that they
like
have
that.
3 legs now. They just live with 3 legs and they run around. They're just
like
as
that.
happy.
You're
They're not like,
like
oh,
that.
I missed my leg. They're like, this is my new
That's
reality.
tough. If you cut his arm off, look,
So-
his hands are on fire every morning. He's like,
Yeah.
that's fine. I'm totally okay.
Same thing with the neutered Dansby. He's not gonna miss his testicles. He's not gonna even.
No.
He just lives his new life.
He's also, and I hate to break this to people, and I love Dansby more than anybody here. He's not smart enough to know what's happening. He's an
Yeah.
idiot. He's a dog.
He just wakes up and he's like, oh,
Yeah.
I've got a new
He's
life
like,
now.
look at that. There's something to play with. Oh, man.
I'm less passionate about everything. That's all that's gonna happen.
Now we got that in common.
Yeah.
Next email.
Yeah. Let's do
Oh,
one.
Dansby is on the table right now. He just got off the table. I just got a report. He's fine. He's out of his surgery. They didn't even give him any stitches. All glue.
Yeah, just glue it back. It's a simple procedure
Yeah,
now.
so
That's
simple.
not dangerous at all. I don't
But
think.
Andrea asked me this last night. She's like, when Dansby's getting neutered, which is more technical, being neutered or spayed? And I said, it's got to be the lady. It's got to be more technical.
That's what I would think.
It is with humans, but I have no idea with animals. But I imagine it is.
It's got to be
like,
because it's interior.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, with that, yeah,
That's just
it's gotta
science.
be.
Yeah. Anyway, next
all right.
email.
Minivan versus SUV adventure vehicle.
Oh, is this the guy? Didn't this guy, or is this a?
There's a lot of follow-ups on
Okay.
this.
All right. Sorry, Sam. Sorry.
I was listening to an ACT and I heard the argument of SUV versus minivan with the caveat of the partner who makes the most money picks the car. The partner who drives the kids most picks the family car. An SUV is fine for 1 or 2 kids, but once you add a third into the mix, a minivan is the only option.
Well, only insane people would have 3 kids.
3 wide in the back seat is a recipe for fistfights and screaming. They will never, quote, adventure enough in the SUV to make up for not getting the van she wants.
Adventure. You can't adventure with 3
BTM
children.
and minivan enthusiasts.
All right.
Then we have another follow-up.
Yeah, a lot of van love, and I love vans too. I just want to point it out there. I enjoy a good van.
I was listening to the ACT episode Booger Hoodie, where you were discussing the gentleman that doesn't have the balls to tell his wife what car he will get.
Wow.
I was in a similar situation a while back with my wife, so I took her to a Ford dealer to test a new Explorer. She wanted practical and fuel efficient while I wanted something faster. Ultimately got her to drive the ST version, and once she heard the engine roar and tires squeal, she was sold. 2 weeks later, she told me to trade in my Camry for a BMW M5. She didn't want us having slow cars anymore. Lesson learned, if your wife is prone to addiction problems, exploit the ones that won't destroy your family.
Well, you just found a loophole. You found a lady that was like a secret gearhead. I mean, that's not fair.
Yeah.
Who has that?
Also, I mean, there were 3 kids in my family. We just had little cars. You just
Yeah.
squeeze them all back there.
Dude, I had one.
I mean, there's going to be fighting.
You
Yeah.
just lay in the back window.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember
Sorry.
jump seats? Remember those
Yeah,
tiny
yeah.
little jump seats where you'd face each other in the back of the station wagon?
When I was
No,
a
I
kid,
never had those.
I'm older.
I'm not joking, didn't wear a seatbelt more than I wore a seatbelt.
Yeah.
Like, I would just get in my mom's, she had a big conversion van. We used to call it a Scooby-Doo van.
Yeah.
And it was a Gladiator. And we used to just ride. Like, I used to fight with my brother and sister back there
Oh, yeah.
while we were driving anywhere. I would just be throwing him around. He would just be
You would do
loose
anything
in the
you
back.
want. As a challenge.
I never wore a seatbelt back there.
As a challenge, I drove from down the hatch seafood restaurant from like the Ponce Inlet area down, God, I don't even know, what was that, 92, through my dad's sunroof as a challenge. I just stood out of the sunroof because he said I couldn't. He said I couldn't keep my eyes open. Oh, you can't keep your eyes open all the way from down the hatch seafood restaurant in Ponce Inlet to DeLand, Florida. And I'm like, yes, I can. So I stood out of the sunroof for 40 minutes or 38 minutes, and I rode all the way home, and I did it. And he was proud of me. He's probably the most proud he's ever been of me.
Look, I gotta have to call my mom because this is so.
I love talking to your
like
mom.
I know for a fact that
Don't make her
she
feel
loves
like
her
a bad
kids more.
parent, though, dude. You sometimes
That's what I want to do.
No, sometimes you
It's
call
a
her
different
up.
time.
Sometimes you call her up and you go, "Hey, what was that thing we did?" And then she said, "Yes." And then you're like, "Why did you let us do that? That's not fair."
But we are talking about a different time in which cars were less safe.
Yeah,
than
oh,
now.
yeah.
Metal.
So,
Lot of metal in those cars.
Well, they didn't know, Tom.
No
they didn't
airbags.
know.
No
But
airbags.
I would make the argument that they didn't know because more car accidents happened back then and more fatalities because cars are less safe. So, it would be obvious that she must have known multiple people that have gotten into car accidents and then some fatal car accidents, right? Because everybody knows someone who's gotten in a car accident.
Yeah.
So why, when you're driving,
I'm following you. Yeah,
around,
I'm following you.
like, aren't you? Because I'm not.
I remember sitting in the back of pickup trucks just flying down the highways.
Sam, before I had a driver's license, we were fixing up my car. My dad would let me get in my car barefoot and just a pair of board shorts and drive my car with no license around their subdivision.
Yeah, that's fine. That's
Yeah,
fine.
it's totally fine. But name a kid that's going to do that now.
Other,
maybe in the country.
Yeah.
Maybe in the country, but not around here.
The other,
They got golf carts around here.
I hate it. I hate it so much. My wife wants one, and I'm going to put my foot down.
like, there was one morning, because I drive Max and Tommy to school every morning, that we got to school, and then it was either Max or Tommy. He's like, "Oh, I'd never put my seatbelt on." Like, he forgot to
I've done that
buckle
with
his
Maisie.
seatbelt, and we already got to school, and
Yeah.
it is only at a 7-minute drive from my driveway to the school.
You're
we
so close.
hit green lights, but I punished myself mentally. The whole that I was driving, I was smacking myself. I was like,
know.
I'm like, what if we got in a minor accident and he rocketed through the windshield?
You'd never forgive yourself.
Or just like rocketed into the back of my chair, banging his head forward. You know what I'm
I
saying?
know.
Like, and then I'm gonna tell the police that my son, or the doctors, that he was riding in the car with no
I know.
seatbelt. Like, and I was like, that could easily happen. Even a small accident, he'll be flying
anything.
around.
I mean, even just to whip their head back and you got whiplash or
Yeah.
something.
So was my mom not? It never occurred to her. Like, she's smoking and
Yeah.
driving this
I took
giant
May-
van around. Like, we would all been
Maisie-
rocketed out the windshield.
Maisie and I went down to High Tides last night, which used to be Latitudes, and I let her drink without a party pouch. Just trying to make you laugh.
All right, next email. Sorry,
Hey, we need to discuss at some point High Tides.
I'm
'cause-
just joking. It
No,
wasn't-
you and I need to discuss High Tides at some point. Just put that on the list.
Oh, it's a new latitude.
It used to be Latitudes, and man, I'm just saying we are missing out. You need to call Doug. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes.
Do they still own it? I'm sure they do.
They gotta
right?
do. They gotta. But see, I'm flustered. I can't even talk about it. I see them. They come up in my algorithm, and I see the ladies, the beautiful ladies of High Tides.
Also, I'll defend my mom by saying nothing ever happened. So what?
Yeah, you're fine. Yeah, look how tough you are. Grit.
I'm
Grit.
all
Grit.
stressed out for nothing.
Yeah.
She drove around, nothing ever happened. It's fine.
Exactly.
Anyway,
Next.
Yeah, we did. Like we really changed how
It's
Sam
fine.
viewed us. I saw her.
You don't need to-
I don't know when to start now because I'll
Yeah.
start and then you're going back to
Well,
your
we're
argument.
a little
so.
angry
yeah,
today.
you don't need your seatbelts. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, let's write that down. Write down no seatbelts ever.
Don't need seatbelts.
We're gonna start. Okay, next email.
Dan, do you use your frunk? It seems a lot of people do not utilize the extra space. I have my park day stuff stored in there, a sun visor, cabana hat, and some T&D shades. Also, if you get into an accident and need a bumper replaced, you lose the parking sensors because that's not on the
Yeah.
models.
They've been Tesla ain't changing everything.
They did a horrible job implementing that.
Yep.
Okay, off to Lucid Dream that I'm in a 5K to burn off those Oreos I ate.
Well, since this has happened, I believe they put the parking sensors. The rumor is now the parking sensors are back. Tesla don't know what they're doing, man. They're all over the place.
Also, I need to tell this listener that are you crazy? Daniel's not filling anything in his car filled with garbage.
Cars are meant for passengers.
When I get into Daniel's car, I'm worried that there's sand on my shoes.
You should be.
It's going to be getting on
should
these
be.
floor mats.
When
because it's so pristine in there. It's like
Can
a
I-
laboratory.
Samantha has excellent car etiquette. You are like a bull in a china shop. Samantha, when she sits in the back, she put everything that might have been in her area, and that's my fault, Sam. I should have
Okay.
cleaned it up. She puts everything in Maisie's car seat nicely. You don't even know how to use the doors on my car. You
Oh,
can't
that's
even get
true.
out of it.
Oh,
You-
he thumbs up the windows.
He's thumbing
Alright.
the windows. He's touching it like Sam is.
Musk had to do some fancy door handles. You can't just make a regular door handle, Musk. You have to do some trick that I have to figure out every time. I have to push the
to be fair,
small
he
side.
doesn't build the cars.
Yeah.
I know that's a common
Yeah,
misconception.
he just bought the
He just
company.
has the
Yeah,
money.
I don't even think he
No.
he didn't even think up
He
anything.
doesn't engineer
He
anything.
just bought it. Like he's just a money dude. And Sam, have you seen Sam's car? Have you ever peeked inside of it?
I mean,
Have you ever looked inside? Have you ever ridden in it?
I have before.
It's as clean as my car.
Yeah. Nobody rides in my car,
It's
though.
as clean as my car. So I don't
It's
want
just
people to
me.
villainize me and say, "Oh, look at Daniel, he's a
But
outlaw."
my God, that Trump truck is...
It's got
it's a rolling dumpster.
Pedialyte,
It's a rolling dumpster.
It's got old smoothie
How dare
cups.
you.
I went to move Tommy's his big
There
boy
are
chair.
no less than
Seven-
20 soda cans in there.
Open Pedialyte
Some are
spraying
open,
everywhere.
some-
What are your kids only? They only eat Pedialyte. What are they
That's
drunk?
Tommy.
What is he hungover? Why is he
Aw,
drinking
Stick Bug
Pedialyte?
needs nutrition.
It's Pediasure.
Aw.
Stick Bug
He needs his nutrition.
This almost caused Daniel to have a panic attack.
Because I spilled it all over the goddamn car.
Not your fault, though.
And then
I never even looked back.
who leaves a Pedialyte? It was
I didn't-
warm, hot as hell, and it no top on it.
Never cleaned it up. Never even went back to look at it again.
No.
Oh
I had
God.
to push so many soda cans out of the way just to sit
Yeah.
down.
It is embarrassing to live like that because I do
just-
say I'm like, wait, you're a grown man, get it together.
Well, like
I don't
when-
have time though, and
Yeah,
that,
when you're done, you just get what you had. Like if I'm drinking a soda, I drink soda in my car, and I drink 2. I have 2 Mountain Dews, maybe a coffee. I've spilled coffee in that car.
So much
But
sand.
when I'm done, I just take my stuff and throw it in the garage trash and when I go inside.
Yeah, but I'm always in a perpetual rush. I'm
Gotcha.
like late for everything.
Late,
I'm
yeah.
Why don't you make it like a family experience where
Yeah,
you and the
clean
boys
the
wash the
car.
truck?
Take him to
My dad
Baywatch.
used to make us wash his car all
my
the time.
dad made me wash the
Yeah.
car alone. It was like,
Right.
here's the hose.
It was us, me and my 2 brothers.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
have to do the interior. He didn't trust me, but he
Mm.
knew I could wash the exterior of it.
I just prioritize everything above that. So the cleaning my truck gets on the bottom of the list.
Gotcha.
And then and of course everything
And
starts.
the kids don't care because they don't notice anything.
No,
so it's fine.
well, they're used to kids that live in filth all the time. They'll get used to it. That's true.
I would not admit that.
They kids will just
But
be
you know
normal.
what? It'll go one of 2 ways, right? They'll continue the filth life,
Yeah,
or they
yeah.
get OCD because they don't want to live like they used to when they were a
Yeah,
kid.
That's the
Thus,
test.
myself.
yeah.
He's doing an experiment.
So either I'm cursing them or doing something good. It's 50-50.
It's 50-50.
The choice is yours.
Yeah, I like that. Choose
yeah.
your own adventure life.
Yeah. Like this will either cause you to be like this and live a horrible
Well,
life,
put it on them.
or hate
Yeah, like
living.
you had your
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah, you're putting it on
Yeah,
them,
yeah.
and I like that.
Like you're experiencing this.
Yeah.
So this will either make you live like
Yeah.
this.
What do I
Maybe
look
we
like?
should do a go-to show to Tom's truck just to clean it out on air.
Okay, I'm going to say something I didn't want to say.
We can name all the items we're putting in the trash bags.
It has an odor.
Yeah.
It has an
yeah,
odor.
well, when
I
there's
know.
food and drink
Yeah.
spilled everywhere.
And you got some dried smoothie cups in there where the mummy bones have gone from wet. They're back to dry
Yeah.
again. You could reuse
And you
them.
had that Klondike bar that's sitting
You
on the
did have-
bumper.
yeah, you have a
Oh,
Klondike
I
on the
saw
bumper.
that. It's a lot of it's the rain got it.
That's good.
Yeah, the sun and the rain, it'll get it good.
Yeah, it's like Itsy Bitsy Spider. You know,
yeah.
the rain washed it all out.
Yeah. No, I like a clean car, and
Yeah, well, I like a prostitute.
yeah, but you
I
have to
don't get
go
one.
and do that and the whole thing.
Okay. I'll take it. You want to switch cars for a day?
Oof.
I will let you take the Tesla home.
Car swap.
It can be yours. You can take the boys in it, act fool in it.
Oh, they're going to
No.
You
spill
can
everything
full
in there.
But you got to let me clean that thing and get it pristine. let me take care of it.
It'll drive you insane if I took your Tesla for a day.
I might need it longer than a day.
You'll have. I mean, it.
I can pressure wash it. Oh, I'll pressure wash the
Yeah,
outside
but
of it.
when I give you the Tesla back, it'll eat at you.
There'll be
What-
some dings.
They're like,
Yeah.
what did he do?
I'll
Like,
never know.
And
Well,
no,
it'll
you'll expect
tell me. There'll be videos of everything.
you'll
There'll
watch
be videos of a Klondike melting to the side.
48 hours of video.
yeah, I'll be watching the.
I know. It's no way to live.
All right,
Jesus.
Yeah, it's not
I'm
next.
going to do one more before we break.
Sure.
Tom's boys watching Hocus Pocus. This was when you were debating showing your children
I
the
think
movie
you did, right?
Hocus
Didn't you?
Pocus.
And they
No,
they were like boring.
Yeah, they never wanted to watch the original.
Pretty boring.
Hey show, 'tis the season, and you've mentioned Hocus Pocus a few times recently. I wonder, how would Tom explain the following actual real concepts from the movie? Max, the main character, is a virgin, called one multiple times in the movie, and lights the black flame candle.
Hold on. What's the black flame? You know all about this. What's the black flame candle?
I haven't watched it in so long, I don't even remember what that signifies.
Okay.
Some
Oh, I
witchcraft.
think you have to maybe lose your virginity? I don't know.
Ah, when you light it, you.
Max's little sister tells his crush, Allison, that he likes her yabos.
They know about that.
Yeah, do they have a?
Oh, it's the candle that summons
Do
the
they have a
witches,
term?
and it
Do they
has
say
to
boobies?
be lit
Yeah,
by,
yeah,
uh,
okay.
the
Yeah, they
virgin.
know about boobies.
Yeah, Maisie's a boobies.
Tom, imagine Sam and Dan are your boys. Please walk through how you'd counter any questions about these two plot points. Also questionable in the movie. One of the Sanderson sisters tells a man she desires children, and he says, quote, "It might take me a couple of times, but I don't think that'll be a problem."
Well, he was obviously talking about Sarah Jessica Parker, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is
A
unfair.
cat gets run over by a bus and is visibly flattened. Bullies ask for hash and smoke from Max.
hash. My God.
Kids are literally killed and eaten. Man, I miss these old movies. Amok, amok, amok.
Okay.
Luckily,
What if your boys asked you what a virgin was? What would you say?
That's a toughie. Nah, I don't even want to.
Yeah. I'd lie, and be like, it.
Like if
it
they
means
saw a
you're not
40-year-old virgin, what would that mean? If they saw that, because Maisie reads stuff and she'll ask me, and I'll just deflect. I won't even explain. I'll just go to something else.
I'll probably make some lie, like it means you're not married yet or something. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
good.
And then
That's good. That's quick.
And
Okay, so raise them on the
That
line.
was pretty good.
Yeah,
Well, we're
yeah,
already
yeah.
doing that.
Well,
Too
what
far
I mean,
gone.
it's impossible to.
Yeah, that's an impossible task.
They're too young for me to even, because I'll be like, oh, it means you haven't had sex. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
the
not even
answer
going
steals
into
their
that.
innocence and starts 9
Yeah.
more questions.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
In fact, I think a professional would tell me don't start explaining
Yeah.
sex
Too
to your
young.
7 and 8-year-old.
Too
Like,
young.
I don't know though.
There's
I
plenty of
haven't-
time for that.
Who knows?
Don't exploit them.
It's
Plenty of time for that. We'll get there, and I
It's-
want you to be healthy, but 7, 8, meh. You're all right.
It's impossible to know all these questions. It's impossible.
Yeah.
So what you have to do is just
I agree.
wish it away.
You do.
Become a speck of dust. Become a
I
shadow.
am telling you, I have
yeah.
learned some techniques from you, sir, and you would be proud of me. When Maisie asks me, sometimes she'll read things that she should not be reading on the TV or whatever,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I will literally not say a word to her, and I will go in a different direction, and it works every time.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll just be like,
distraction.
oh, meatball sandwiches are my favorite, and she'll be
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I like those too, and I'm like, oh, we were on. We moved
They're like,
on.
who wants candy?
Yeah, exactly. You taught me that.
Yeah, yeah. And then they're so stupid.
Yeah,
they
they're
just
so
yeah, they
stupid.
get- and then never go back to it.
But I'm stupid too, so it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
a battle of stupid.
Yeah, yeah. Because you can
Yeah.
you can only trick yourself. All right, bye bye.
We have a good energy today, man.
Yeah.
All right, what are we doing now?
She'll be on Zoom.
All right.
Chelsea Lynn.
Woofy.
So that will go 2/20 February.
Oh my God. All right. That'll be. What day is that?
Monday. And then we said we were going to put her for Monday one.
Yeah.
All right. Fast-paced day. High action.
There's a lot going on today.
Yeah, and I gotta jet out of here when we're done recording and try to relieve Andrea with the pooch. I like days like today, though.
Well, it goes by fast.
Yeah.
It does, yeah.
We got a lot done.
Yeah, that's the best part, is when you look at it and you're like, and it was good stuff. Like, getting a couple interviews in there. I don't know why our phones seemed to be acting weird earlier.
Yeah, that was weird.
I don't necessarily think it was on our end. I thought I had that fixed, and then when I have other people mention something to me, I'm like, what's happening?
You know what I got to get better at is that I have this fear of putting guests on the spot, like not setting them up to succeed, or like putting like, hey, putting on the spot and they don't have anywhere to go, because that's my biggest fear.
Yeah.
That's
so I
interesting.
project it onto people, and then I'm like, I won't let them. I don't want to put them on the
Give 'em
spot, because
that.
what if they don't have
Yeah,
anything
give
to
'em
say?
that.
But then I'm just talking to them and never letting them talk.
Right.
And then so they're just sitting there, and they're probably like, well, "This guy's fucking
Well,
insane."
No, it's only going to take you, I mean, like, explaining what you're saying, if you want to fix it, I would imagine it would only take you, like, literally just being a tiny bit aware of it, and it'll pull right back.
Yeah,
But it's not a big problem.
but-
It's actually it's a positive problem to have.
But also, I can tell, like a Nikki Glazer.
She's a professional.
She
I know
is.
she's, but
She's so good.
I don't have to say anything. She
No.
could just go on the whole
Right.
goddamn time. Like,
Well, I
She
didn't-
started asking you guys questions.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
get to ask her my final question. Well, that's the sign of a really good interview, is when they can interact. I wanted to ask her about, and that's her radio chops. I want to ask her about doing radio so much. Oh, got her. Here we go.
All right.
There she is. Hey.
Hey.
So good to see you. Thanks for the time, and you look awesome. I love that robe.
Well, it's cold here in Nashville, so I'm snuggled up in my robe.
Yeah. Well, we'll get you going here, and we appreciate the time. And
Thank y'all for having me.
Oh,
Yeah, no
anytime. Samantha, our producer, massive fan.
Hello.
And she'll probably be
Thank
running.
you.
She's going to run some point on this, and we're pretty excited about it. We're very excited to have you, though. This is a massive deal. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Van, are you beginning?
Yep.
Where are we putting this?
Monday one.
Monday 1. Here we go in 3, 2.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. My name is Tom.
I am Dan. Sam is our producer. Hello, Sam.
Hi.
I did something weird there. I said, my name is Tom.
You did.
I never do that.
You're up in your head.
Who changes their
Intro?
we've
You're
been doing it at the
embarrassing
same
me
time.
in front of a celebrity. We have a celebrity guest, and I think you freaked out a little bit. And maybe it's because you're a little bit sweet on her.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, maybe you
He's got her calendar hanging up next to his desk.
And maybe she popped.
Oh,
She popped up
all
on.
right.
Yeah, she popped up on Zoom, and you started getting
You got
crazy.
red.
Yeah, maybe you've seen her on the OnlyFans, buddy.
She's going to be at Hard Rock Live on March 23rd. You still have time to buy tickets, but I imagine it will sell out.
It's getting a little close. You're gonna have to jump on there now and get those seats.
Comedian and YouTube sensation Chelsea Lynn is on the line. How you doing, Chelsea?
I'm good. Thank y'all for having me.
Well, we appreciate your time, and we appreciate you, zooming in. Are you doing a lot of, of the Zoom, of the virtual call-in type stuff? Is that something that you have a tendency to do all day, every day now?
Well, no, today I've been doing a little bit of radio. I did some this morning, and I didn't realize this was a Zoom till I was about to hop on.
Oh,
I was
no.
like, well, guess I'm doing it in my robe.
That's right.
Yeah, well, you look great.
Keeping it
You
real.
look great. That's a nice-ass robe.
Yeah.
So, Chelsea, I'm curious because you started with Vine back in
2013.
2013, so 10 years ago, and when Vine kind of fell apart, you transitioned to YouTube. But at that time, I imagine it was scary because you're like, oh, this platform that I've built an audience on is now going away. How did you transition through that, and what were you thinking at that time?
Man, I'm going to be honest with you. I was probably the only person, especially the only creator that did not care. It wasn't my job at the time. It's not something I thought would ever be a career. I was just having fun. So I just, people were like, oh, Vine's over. I'm like, oh, we still got Instagram and YouTube. I'm good.
Yeah.
Right.
You're like, I still have a platform. And,
Right.
And that's
Right.
that's also a very super it seems like it's very on brand for you. You seem like you're kind of a roll with the punches kind of person, and I feel like that helps you a lot more when it comes to entertainment and stuff like that, and like doing stand-up and putting together a full-blown show that you're now going to take on the road. I mean, that's something that's a huge undertaking. Where do you begin when you're starting something like that?
Man, that's the hardest thing I've ever done. That's the hardest part right there for me, because I feel like creating skits,
Right.
writing skits, online stuff, that stuff's really easy for me. But to translate that to a live show, oh my gosh, I'm a year and a half in stand-up, and I still feel like I'm, a baby newbie doing
Sure.
it. I do not feel like I know what I'm doing at all.
Well, but that's also very
So-
honest. That's super
Yeah,
honest
yeah.
and very disarming to say that, because I think a lot of established stand-ups, sometimes they get a little scared when they see you guys
Oh, their
coming.
feelings get hurt.
Their
right?
feelings
do
when,
get
hurt.
When you guys, you're like, and I'm sure you've gone through it, Chelsea, where the fact that other stand-ups will get mad or jealous. They're like,
They're haters. They're being haters.
You're selling out theaters, and you've been, and like, you should have gone up my traditional way and spent 10 years doing small, crappy clubs. I'm sure you hear that, right?
Well, that's what I thought I would hear, and that's what I was scared of, and that's what I was like, oh, they're, all these comedians are going to think, oh, who's this chick from YouTube? Like, what does she think she's doing? Man, it has been the opposite.
Wow.
I have gotten nothing but love, support. I mean, Whitney Cummings let me open for her in Vegas.
Wow.
I have all these big comedians are like, hey, you want to jump on? Like, I'm just like, this is wild. I've gotten nothing but support.
Awesome.
I think, but you know why I
Mind-blowing.
think that is? Let's go back to it.
I think it's because she's actually nice and humble.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what she
personality,
just said.
yeah.
She just said, I don't know
I've heard her on
what.
so many comedians'
Yeah.
podcasts, and I'm like, well, you know, she's not that character, right? We all
Correct.
should know that by now. But it's like she's very humble. It's not
Where-
like she's out there trying to be.
Were you just on Trash Tuesday? What were you watching?
Yes.
Yes. I listen to that show a lot. I'm like the one dude that like loves that show a lot.
Yeah.
I always gravitate to female comedians. I don't know why. So to hear you on there, I was like, oh my God, this is so great. The cool thing about that though is I think these type of gigs and these people gravitate to you because of how you're like, I don't know what I'm doing, trying my best.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all. And it's the truth, man. Like, I can't believe I do this for a living. I quit my 9 to 5 5 years ago. I'm like,
Wow.
what is going on? The fact that people buy tickets to come see me, I'm like blown away. I will never get used to that. It's wild.
Well, Chelsea, I got to ask you about your YouTube following and when it dawned on you that this was something super valuable, because we kind of live in this world where we left like Clear Channel, 10 years ago when we started podcasting and started realizing like, wow, you have your own audience and you have a distribution with the internet.
Sure.
And so
you can do it on your own.
You can do this business through subscribers and marketing, and it's like it's totally viable. And then I'm sure there was a time where you looked at your following on YouTube. I mean, right now you got 1.33 million subscribers. It was just gigantic media. I mean, but there's news like an entire local news station cluster doesn't have that.
No.
You know what I'm saying? It's gigantic. Anyway, when was the time where you were like, wow, this thing is valuable? Or did someone tell you that, or did you realize it yourself?
I don't think there was a specific moment. I do remember though. Well, I guess there is a specific moment. I was on my way to work. This was a little over 5 years ago. I was not making any money on maybe a few $100s a month on YouTube. That's all I was making. My husband and I had just bought a house that month, our first house we ever bought. And I was on my way to work and like a light bulb went off and I go, I'm putting in my 2 weeks. I'm going to put in my 2 weeks and do this full time. And I did. I put in my 2 weeks. I called my husband because we didn't discuss it or nothing.
Oh, man.
So we had just bought a house. So I thought he was going to be like, what are you doing?
Right.
Go get your job back. We just bought this house, And the first thing he said, he goes, that's wonderful. Now you can do this full time. Now you can go after your dreams full time. Let's do it.
What a
Yeah.
supportive
And
husband.
I was like, you sure? Like
Yeah, well,
And
he
it's
has
just
a
taken
presence,
off.
right? Doesn't he have sort of presence within your world? And not that he's in the forefront and not that he would even want to. I don't really know. But, I mean, like, he has a presence there. And I think that is I'd put that as another check mark on your resume as to why people might want to gravitate to you. Because I know I sort of root for you guys as a unit. I think it's kind of cool.
Thank you. Oh yeah, people love him. He loves it. He is not the type of guy I make him play in the videos. He's an engineer. He's a biomedical engineer.
Well, there you
Right.
go.
So the fact that I make him like sit in front of a camera and eat for YouTube is hilarious.
Yeah,
But,
you got to do a mukbang very early
Yeah.
on. Sam was telling me with like somebody that I guess we've watched on YouTube and we're kind of concerned about, and I don't know how much of it is an act, is Nikocado Avocado. Like, but that are you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember that back very early on when we saw. You don't have any contact with a lot of those guys anymore, though, right? Because you're kind of like bigger.
Well, him and I get together about once a year to do a couple mukbangs. He's actually very,
Aw.
very nice.
Nice.
And his stuff is, I mean, he's,
He goes.
he definitely plays for YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, he goes.
But yeah, he goes hard.
Yeah. Very, 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 very much so.
Going back to
yeah.
you were talking about buying your first house or whatever. How the hell did you get a hold of Betty White's door? And have you put it in your house yet?
Yeah.
Huge Betty White fan, huge Golden Girls fan, huge. I love to collect stuff. I love to collect memorabilia and stuff. And, I've never had the money to buy something like this before, but I've always bought little things. And, I follow Julian's auctions on Instagram.
Yeah.
And when I saw that there was going to be a Betty White auction, I was like, I'm spending money. I'm spending some money. Okay.
Yeah.
And the door, I don't know why. I just thought, she's lived in that house for over 50 years, probably over 60 years. they were selling the front door of the house, and I go, how cool would that be?
Yeah.
To have that door. We plan on building a house here in Nashville eventually.
Nice.
And I thought, how cool would it be to have that door and, use it as my office door or something. And so me and Greg, my husband, we went up to LA and we were there with our little paddles, and I was bidding and stuff, and
That's
I
so
won
cool.
it. So yeah.
That's amazing, man. That's a piece of memorabilia that somebody wouldn't even think of.
Right.
Like that's like the entrance to one of your idols' homes.
That was the only thing I wanted. Yeah. That is what I wanted, man. And I can't believe I got it.
You didn't have anybody fighting you for it, did you? Like you didn't have to
outbid someone.
There was one other person, I think, online. Because they had like online people, and the
that's not
people
fair.
at the
I know, right?
auctions were kind of yelling it out. But they tore her house down a few weeks ago, and there's nothing left but that door.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
I mean, I know it's rude to ask about how much we're talking.
You're good. You're good. I posted how much it was. I think with everything, hammer price, and they add on a bunch of stuff, it was $8,000.
That's not that bad.
You know what?
To have Betty White's door and then
Yeah.
have it in your house, because you're gonna
I
have
feel like that's a reasonable price for a legendary comedy
Now
door.
the whole house is gone.
It's worth it for the story alone. For anybody that comes to your house, you're like, this is Betty White's door. We're like,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah,
I've always wanted something like that.
That is absolutely
Exactly. I've got
crazy.
pictures of her standing in front of it. It's so cool to me. It's
cool.
awesome.
That is absolutely
awesome.
amazing.
Chelsea, I want to ask you, because as you're doing more and more media and you're going through, you're promoting events like I said, March 23rd, Hard Rock Live.
Yes, sir.
Do you? Because we've talked to comedians that get so tired of doing media because it's the same old stuff, and I'm wondering if you get a lot of like radio shows or any other like local news stuff, or if you're promoting a show where they want you to be in character.
Yeah.
Like, do they want you to be Trailer Park Tammy, and do they like try to ask you like, hey,
kind of like and we hate it here. It's kind of like the give us the thing. Do
do
your bit. Yeah.
And I hate that.
Nobody's ever asked. Nobody has ever asked.
Really?
That's
But
surprising.
it's weird. Yeah, it's weird.
I was
'cause
about
this
to
morning I
ask.
was thinking,
No, I'm joking.
huh?
No,
What'd you say?
I screamed. I was about to ask.
Oh.
No, he's not. He's not.
Nobody's ever asked, but this morning I was thinking I should maybe just pop in and do a couple as Tammy. I've never done that, but yeah.
I think it's
ever
cool
asked.
Because it's awkward, because it's like Trailer Park Tammy lives in a certain space, and I feel like
that's
it's
over
not,
here,
yeah.
man. And we kind of like we talked about it, and we didn't know when we had the availability to talk to you. Obviously, we were super excited, but we didn't really know. We're like, are we gonna get like the character? And then once we realized that it was like, no, we're getting you, we were all kind of relieved because it is a little bit different when you're having to also interact with somebody that's like not real.
You're playing a character.
Yeah, you know.
Right. I think that's why I don't do it as Tammy, because I'm like, what if they ask me Chelsea questions and I don't know how to answer them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figure this is easier.
It's also probably another reason why other comedians are giving you a shot. Like you're not going in there and just kind of like doing the thing. You're going in there as a, hat in hand and being an authentic human. So, hey, we really appreciate your time today. And when is the show again, Tom? I forget.
It's March 23rd, Hard Rock Live. And I got one more question for you, Chelsea. With because I'm sure, and I have no idea, but I imagine that you're drawing upon a lot of like life experience with the Trailer Park Tammy character,
People
because
you know.
because you know that life, like whether you want to call it white trash, redneck, and we're familiar with it as a show here at Tom and Dan.
Floridians. Yeah, we are it.
Yeah, we're all self-proclaimed white trash.
I drank so
upbringing.
much Mountain Dew this morning. I'm fueled by Mountain Dew.
Yeah. So
my middle school principal called me trailer trash.
Yeah.
Facts.
You had a mullet.
This is Florida. All of our audience basically grew up like that, and so I'm curious to, now that you're getting bigger and bigger and becoming a bigger star, I imagine you are around circles of celebrities and other influencers that are rich. Like, you start getting into a different category.
You got Betty White's door, for Christ's sake.
And then
I'm doing it up big.
And so I'm sure, is that comfortable for you to hang out with a bunch of rich Hollywood
like
types?
Standing there having a Mick Ultra with Drake.
Hell no. I get and I don't hang out often. I will say that. I mean, you can see my house behind me. I live out in the country. Like,
nice.
I am here all the time. But when I do get to be around someone famous for any reason, I am not okay. I freeze up. I'm like, what am I doing here? Even if I get to be on I was on Tim Dillon's podcast a few months ago, and the whole time was horrible on that podcast because I was nervous the entire. I'm like, I'm in Tim Dillon's studio right now.
Yeah.
No, I'm not comfortable. I'm not okay. I'm freaking out the whole time.
Oh, and also
I
I liked how you said you were in the country and then you were like, cue the truck.
Yeah.
And that was amazing. That was absolutely amazing. Where do you get that kind of audio on a show? That's amazing.
And
Right.
I'm also curious to the YouTube business model because it's changed as it's evolved, and we've talked to influencers that had big followings, and then a lot of people go way different ways. Like obviously you're performing and you're selling tickets for shows
You're
and stuff.
finding other stuff.
But some people go the marketing way as they're just advertising and get advertising money. Some people go subscribers or donations or go Patreon, OnlyFans, things like that. There's a million different ways to go. What have you seen most success, or even with the other YouTubers that is there a standard that everybody's going with now?
Man, I do not know that part of anything. I don't even look at my analytics.
Nice.
I think I've clicked on that once in the whole time doing it.
Really?
Because I don't know what anything is. Oh my gosh. I don't know what it is. I don't know what I'm looking at. There is a whole business way of posting, and I don't know what I'm doing. I just
She's just the talent, man.
Do you have a
post what I think's funny, and I just pray.
hold on, as a
I like
business
this better. Yeah.
there's a business manager swooped in or some corporation where it's like, hey, you have an insane audience, the following you have, and it's worth millions, and have they tried to hey, let me help you navigate
Let's
this
go
world,
through these analytics.
or I'll take over, we'll do this part for you, or are you doing it truly with your husband, a small team, yourself?
Am I missing out on millions here? Did you say millions? I edit everything. I post everything. Every comment responded is from me. No one else has passwords. I am doing everything.
Yeah, and I think that's why though that her she's being better received is because she's not trying to trick people into watching it. She's worrying about the one thing that you have to worry about first, which is I'm just gonna try to be funny. I'm just trying to be entertaining. Good job, man. I am so proud of you. You are killing it.
I'm surprised that, we've heard from other podcasters stuff, marketing agencies will go and make some deal for all, they'll put their commercials on your content, but they'll pay you some standard a month or whatever. I'm just surprised someone hasn't come to you and said hey, we'll take over the advertising of your channel and we'll give you this much because your audience is so huge.
No, I'll do ads here and there, with brands, but no, I've got no one. No,
That's
man,
impressive.
I'm doing it myself.
Doing it like we do it.
Yeah. I guess it does make sense. It's no one's come to us about that. So it's just I don't know.
There are some days we're out on our front step in our orange robe just working, right?
Yeah.
We do the same thing. Man, that is amazing. What a good story.
Yeah.
How often do you get recognized when you're walking around in public? Is it every single time you go out now, or is it every once in a while? How often is that?
I would say every day here, the last year.
Yeah.
Every day probably.
And wait till this.
And it's not, crowds of people or not. It'll be, 1, 2, 3, just a few.
The experiment's going to continue because as soon as this tour pops off and she gets in these cities, right, and you can see her, she's coming to town. I guarantee you that she's going to start getting recognized everywhere. Although I will say your photos, man, you take some. You are a very pretty woman. Yeah,
Yes.
I like you outside of the trailer park look. I was like, holy hell, who was that?
Hey, when I put on a little paint, it's not too bad, huh?
Well, you're so sweet. Thank you so much for the time, and we hope to next time you're in Orlando. Hopefully, we get you in here in person and chat a little bit. Okay.
Oh, dude, I'll come by for real. Y'all let me know.
Okay, we will
I'll
absolutely
reach out to you.
Yeah,
Then.
We'll have Sam reach out.
We'll have Sam reach out for sure.
Okay.
But hey, thank you so much for your time, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay.
Thank you. All right. Bye, y'all.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That is Chelsea Lynn, live from her home, her stoop.
Yeah. It's
I kind of feel bad that we caught her off guard, but they told me it was a Zoom. So.
Yeah, that's why I gave the thing. You saw me sweat at
Yeah,
12. I did it at 12, and then I did it again at the 20 because I'm like, my God, this lady's outside on her stoop in Nashville in no clothing.
You know what the curse of the Zoom is like, because I do this now with business meetings where someone will send
we
me.
had a bad one on Friday.
No,
too.
or just someone will send me a Zoom link, and I'll be like, "Well, there's no need for Zoom. You don't need to. We don't need to see each
We
other.
don't need to look
for,
at each other,
for
yeah.
this interaction. We could do this all over the phone, right? Like we're not in COVID anymore. Like
right.
over the phone is fine. But I think they've been trained to send the Zoom link.
Phone is fine. Is that what you're preaching? Phone is fine.
Well,
Zoom is
So, and I literally
Perfectly fine.
There's no room for Zoom. Phone is fine.
And then so I literally had to do the meet, and I was in my truck, so I had to go
trash everywhere.
Oh, no, God.
Well, I had to
Please
go,
excuse the Pediasure bottle.
I had to do a Zoom audio only.
That's how you know it's a grandpa.
So I'm driving. and then I'm
the button to put the camera on.
Hold on a second. Done this over the phone.
Got it in landscape mode.
So I feel like now, because everybody has been doing Zoom for so long, like that's the standard. And then both parties look at it and be like, we could do this over the phone. We don't need to Zoom. And
can
then
we
it's
not
like,
call
I guess
it Zoom?
they want it.
Can we call it video chat? Like what it is? Zoom. What am I, a baby? Zoom is what a rocket ship, the noise a rocket ship makes.
I don't know why I get so surprised that like someone hasn't tried to make money off of
Well, when
her
you
channel,
asked it the second time, as if to call her a liar,
well, because I'm just like,
you're like,
Or maybe
really?
she,
you mean to tell me that no?
Maybe she doesn't think it'll benefit it as much as her running it herself,
That's us. That's what we said.
well, because I'm doing the math of like, all right, I know what
She wants to control her image and her brand.
That's true. Now, that has been said because we had pretty strict things that we were supposed to do in this. But it was funny because I think they came from like her publicist, and she didn't care.
But you could still have, gone are the days where someone's going to come in and then just like, I want control of everything, give me everything, and I'll give you this small little pence.
I would love that.
But
I'll win a large little pen.
But now it's kind of like, well, let me just help you make more money, and then I'll take a small cut of that because the opportunity is immense with this many followers.
Like an angel investor guy swoops in,
Like,
guides you a bit, and takes a small percentage.
I know what our company makes, and look how small how many YouTube subscribers do we have?
Close to 7,000.
Yeah, so 7,000. She has one.
We're not on there. We just started really putting time and effort into
But
it.
even like, yes, okay, we got tens of thousands of podcast listeners and stuff like that. But
millions. Even.
She well, no, that's
Over time. I like to say it. We're on radio.
Yeah.
We're on radio.
If you count one person downloading,
we're on radio right now. Over 20 million downloads.
Steve Mooney downloaded our show 20,000 times, so he gets counted for 20,000.
Yeah, he's a 20,000 Mooney, is what I call it.
But anyway, so I'm just doing the math of like, I know how we've got a decent sized audience, but it's small compared to her, right? Small. I mean, it's 1/10 the size. So in my mind, I'm thinking, well, she can make 10 times or 20 times more than we can, and I'm like, that equals millions, multi-millions. And so I'm like, why isn't she making multi-millions? I mean, she may be. I don't know. Who knows her business?
I think she got to be.
She bought a $7,000 Betty White door.
Well,
so
I think she's got to be close.
I can't afford that.
She's doing a
$8,000 door. Your
Well,
boat's more than that.
Yeah, but a door, a boat is a boat. Well,
That's the one thing she wanted.
Yeah, but she also bought something that is not in use right now. She bought a door that she's saving to build a house.
Right.
Rich people do that.
Yeah.
I bought a stone lion to put in my new home.
I don't think she's making millions. That's why she was like, "What? You saying I'm missing out on millions?"
I think she'll get there though. I mean, you're doing a theater tour for Christ's sake. I mean, you're not chump changing
well,
it.
hopefully she can actually sell it. Hopefully we can push people to go.
We didn't help. I know that.
She'll
Not
make
when you guys called her the wrong name
at
twice.
Hard Rock Live.
What I call her?
Trailer Park Tammy, and it's Trailer Trash Tammy.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
Park trash. Whatever.
I didn't want to bring it up because then it would have focused too much on it. She knew what you meant.
You should have corrected us.
It's
I think it's more.
I wrote
on
down
brand.
Park.
Oh,
Idiot.
God.
I wrote down Cherokee Parks. I think he used to be a basketball player.
Trailer Trash Tommy. What an idiot.
Not Tommy, Tammy.
All the line with us right now, we've got Cherokee Park and her son Tommy.
God damn it. Wow. Wow, my lady. Oh, man. I embarrassed myself.
It's been a long day, and man, we've
That's
been.
fine. We're loopy.
We are a little loopy.
Why did I just let Sam do the interview? She
That's
knows.
what I said. I even said up front we were going to let Sam run point on this when Sam got one question.
Yeah, I always get one. I get one in.
All right, well, just take it over. Just be like, shut up.
Yeah.
And, I don't think I'll sit here. I'll
If
be
you
fine.
just-
Nah, that won't
Shut
work.
up,
I've tried that before.
And then we both go,
No, I'll be like, all
try
right.
it, try it. And we're like,
I want you to do the work. I don't want to do nothing. I promise.
I did the work. I gave you all the information. You got it all wrong.
Hey, you don't want to know what I want you to do. I want you to stomp my balls. I don't want to.
Damn it.
I don't want to do any work.
It's so insulting when you say the
Well,
wrong thing.
When she's in here, hopefully we'll get her in here
She
in
ain't
March.
gonna come in here.
Hey,
That's
it's-
like cruise friends.
it's the
You just
equivalent-
lie to people. You're just like,
No,
yeah,
I
yeah,
believe
we'll
her.
get you in
Yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah. Well, now that I called it wrong, it's like if someone's like, hey, so I used to be Dinky the drunk. I'm like, yes, sir.
You would have gone with it, though.
Of course I would,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that tells me that this person doesn't care about me, which is not the case. I was super interested in talking to her, and it's insulting calling
I wanted to open her robe up and be like, hey, you're taking.
Go buy one of her calendars.
Yeah, I googled the pictures. I saw them.
Um,
Have them next to your desk every day.
is it nude?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
She has an OnlyFans, a Patreon.
Yeah, boy does
Sign
it.
But I
up,
thought you
guys.
thinking nude there.
No, not really. I mean, there's just.
But
you
the
know,
calendar's
some
nude?
sides and no, it's just
Oh,
like,
oh,
yeah,
but
it's
yeah,
like-
yeah. I saw the pictures
yeah.
on her Instagram.
It's just tantalizing.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Yeah. All right.
She's got
Smooth.
full
She's.
topless.
Oh yeah.
So
I want humongous bush.
and why I say millions is like
Oh, he's back on it
Here
again.
we go.
Mr. Beast is making
Yeah, but
an
Mr. Beast is an
insane-
alien, and he just saved everyone in the world's sight. I don't know if you saw this, but Mr. Beast, he got
Who else is making millions in YouTube?
Joe Rogan.
Well, yeah, but he's making a podcast. I don't know. The
Logan Paul.
Yeah, the Pauls.
No, there are so many people
They got
making
bigger
millions on
followings than
YouTube.
them.
There's so many. There's that one that your kids watch, the J Family.
Yeah. They got
they make
Preston.
millions.
Preston's making
Preston's
millions.
making millions.
Yeah, yeah.
Ryan. But Ryan, do you hear about Ryan?
From
No.
No.
Oh,
No, but
man.
he's
got to be a teenager now, right?
Well, he was going through that phase where you're like, hey, Ryan, you might want to stop playing with the toys. You might want to make it Ryan's I Play Sports Now world.
Oh, yeah,
You know,
okay,
I'm just
yeah.
saying.
I
Just
wonder
saying.
if that killed it, right? Like he can't. Is he opening up?
Hey, what's up, guys? Let's go open up some of these mystery eggs. Hey, it's Taco Bob.
Like, will hit once he gets past
Yeah,
18.
puberty.
He can't. It's done, right?
Well, the idea, and I think his parents were very vocal about this, once he reaches 18, he will be auctioning off his virginity online.
See,
Remember when somebody did that?
No.
Yeah, this was like when the internet was just on the
oh, I
sizzle.
remember this. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is disgusting.
No. It's not as disgusting as you think, Sam. It is disgusting, but it's not. What it was is it was a virgin boy and a virgin girl that were going to live stream them both for the
Oh.
first time, and you
Oh,
could
okay.
like pay to see it.
Okay.
You know,
That
and
would be
now,
terrible.
now that I'm
Still
saying it, sounds,
disgusting.
now that I say it sounds absolutely horrible.
So you're just like, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait
Jeez.
until I'm like, I don't want to put my credit card number in until you turn 18.
Oh, man.
I like the idea too. Of like your friends come over, like, "What are you watching?" I ordered a pay-per-view. What is it? Well, it's these two 20-year-olds.
Yeah, well,
they're
I-
virgins, and we're gonna watch them have sex for the first time. It's gonna be so awkward. I even got gringos to cater.
Did that happen?
Yes.
It's
Look
still
it up.
happening. It's a thing.
Sam, look it up.
It's a thing?
It was a.
It is a thing.
It was like, but I think that okay, I could be wrong on this. My memory is so tortured. But here's what happened. I think that when they finally all these people were like signing up for it, and then they it was all a scam. Never was gonna happen.
Oh, okay.
They never were really
They
virgins.
just said it, okay.
They just said it. They didn't even. I don't even think they did any nudity or. I think it was just all a scam.
Yeah. They just did it to see what would happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think so, and they got my $20.
All right.
We can keep going. You want
sure
us
we
to do
keep
it?
going?
Let's get the
Okay, well,
voicemails. Just do a couple voicemails. We got anybody else?
No, that's
Who-
it. That's it.
We don't have any more comedians from Hard Rock that need an interview.
I could barely get through. My voice is shot.
I have some voicemails if you want to knock.
Let's
Just
just
we
do
just got
it.
12 minutes to knock out here.
All right.
I like how we always look at this like chopping wood.
Yeah. Well, it's got to get done.
Yeah, gotta get done.
One
That's
day
what
or
Jack
another.
says. If you guys saw the emails from Jack, I'm like, get your shows done, you idiots. All right.
Nah, I don't think he even.
No, I
No,
don't even-
it doesn't care at all. like he told me, he doesn't
He
care.
absolutely.
He's like, I
yeah.
don't care if you do it or not.
Do it. Don't
Do
do
it,
it.
don't do
Don't
it.
include me.
Yeah, it's like, what is that? What
The
does that have
last
to do
time
with
I
me?
emailed Jack, he wrote back, "Stop emailing me." Let's try this one.
Yo, BDM Neil here again. Dirty Jim is rich as hell. I know where you guys are talking about. I know where Dirty Jim lives. I know.
Dirty Jim.
I've been up in that place, and every single lot is like giant as hell, big old houses, but it's still gated though, and they got a guard in the front.
Man, Jimmy's been saving money for like 20 years
No,
and never
you
did
know,
anything.
I'll tell you how he got rich because I watched it happen. And it ain't
Bitcoin?
radio. No.
He was doing it.
It ain't radio.
Yeah.
He was buying those he was a slumlord for a while, right?
Well,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
you still
And
got that.
garage
Yeah,
sailing.
but that ain't getting him rich. What got him rich, and everybody should do this, by the way. It's just difficult, and it takes discipline to do this. But he lived right on the other side of where I lived, and the same. He had a 4-2 standard house in Maitland near Castleberry, Fern Park,
Why don't you blow
basically.
up a spot? Good lord.
I tell you where he lives now. I just don't know.
I
I know
he,
it's
doesn't let,
rich.
he doesn't let you
I
guys
know.
know where he
I
lives.
It's
know
out
where
in
it
the
is.
middle of nowhere.
No, I know exactly where it is. I've been down there.
But he spent every working day of his life redoing every house he lived in, but including that one. He redid everything from the ground up.
Oh,
right?
and make them beautiful.
And because he was always a different project, so he'd do the kitchens, the floors, the outside,
He's good at that stuff.
And then when he redid everything, then he sold it and moved to a bigger house.
Yeah, he would always upgrade.
And then he moved to that lake house and then continued. I would make fun of him. Like, why are you working so
You're on
hard?
a lake.
But how much money is he putting into these houses?
Just enough.
A good amount of money he put into the houses, but he ended up selling them for damn near double the damn price he bought them for because he redo everything.
Yeah, he's smart with his stuff.
But he redo the kitchens, the floors, the
decking,
everything.
the banking.
Yeah, he'd put $100,000 in, but he
screen.
ended up selling them for $200,000, and then he moved on to the next one. He did the same thing at Baldwin. He moved on to the next one. But you can continue to do that. Also, it's a smart business move because if you buy a house and then sell it, that money you make on that house isn't taxed.
Yep.
So you don't have to report that as income or whatever. You can dump that money into the next house and keep walking the ladder of houses until you live in a mansion. I've talked to rich guys.
Write that down. Walk the ladder of houses until you live in a mansion.
Because if you live in there for 2 years, that's the rule with taxes. As long as you live in a house for 2 years, then if you sell it, you don't have to be taxed on the gains of that.
Yep.
So a lot of people get rich by just moving into a house, working on it for 2 years, then selling it and move into another house, and then just work your way up.
1, 2, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4. Yeah.
And that's how we did it. And
So when does he sell this one?
I
Or
think
is this the final?
too old to do.
This is the.
He is doing work.
He looks pretty agile at the
I
drive
know.
shack.
I'm
He looked
mad.
great. He
I'm
looked
mad
great.
because I'm
He
stiffer.
was better than you.
Oh,
Yeah, I
he
know.
is crushing it.
But he is building a pool and doing the same thing. So
He does a lot of stretching, and also in the bedroom, known to be a little flowy.
I think he's doing the same thing
Yeah.
in this house. He's gonna put a pool in, build make
yeah.
it super nice and sell that.
He's already got an archery area. He's got a shooting range.
But then you start.
Doesn't have a tailgate.
No, don't talk about it.
But you start downgrading and you start getting into condo living because
Oh, yeah.
you
Well, that's
age
when you're
yourself
going to
out.
die.
Yeah.
That's when you're going to die.
And then
Beach condo.
That's me. I'm already in my condo. I'm going to die in that place.
Then all that work is all to leave the money to your kids so they waste it.
You know what? I'm not going to leave anything.
All for nothing.
I'm not leaving anything to Maisie because I've determined she's capable.
Yeah. You don't have to.
Yeah, I don't have to do it now. It's
Yeah.
only it's only.
They'll
if
be
you're
better without
If
it.
you have really dumb kids, you need to leave them something.
Yeah.
But Maisie's pretty good.
Yeah, or she'll by the time you die, she's already gonna be richer than you were.
She's already got a
Yeah.
job. She's at her job right now.
Oh yeah, she's more successful.
Let's try this one.
Tom, Dan, Sam, BDM Mike.
BDM Kylie.
There we
Listening to the best ofs from, I don't know, the other day. You're talking to the unicycle fella. Dan, it ends with you going, hey, enjoy a butt plug on me. And as you said that, I'm reaching for my Fairville koozie wrapped Coors Minus with the slogan, hope it fits on the back.
From the beer fest.
Anyways, love your sponsors, love this show. Fairville is the best. BDM for life.
All right. Hey, great.
Nah.
It's not called a Coors Minus. It's a C minus. Coors Light. C minus. They're so cute. They're so cute.
You know, when Daniel did that, I got embarrassed. I was like, come on, he's a
Well,
child.
I couldn't let that kid get over on me because I was going in on him kind of hard, and then he was like, he gave me the like, real funny. We got a real Weisenheimer here. And once I knew that kid had
No,
given
he's
me,
nice. He
you
was trying to
know,
be nice.
He gave me the like,
No,
okay, yeah,
you
hey.
took it that
he
way.
gave me the like, knock it off.
No.
I'm like, oh, you want me to knock it
No,
off?
he
I'm
was
about
just
to
being-
I'll knock something off.
He was just being a nice
no,
young
he
boy.
was not.
Yeah, he
Unicycle
was.
boys are never nice. If there's anything,
Did he make it?
No,
I
he
think
died.
he's still riding.
Oh God, he
Let me
died.
see.
What if he died?
Still? Wasn't he in like Vero Beach?
Oh yeah.
Still riding down to Key West?
Tell him to swing through Goombas and get a fish sandwich.
It's been weeks, right? He has to make it down there.
That's the problem with any of these, like walking and riding and doing, is that
So
like after
long.
I talk to you, I forget what you're doing.
Yeah.
And then I'm like,
Everybody.
Oh,
and then-
he made it.
Hey!
3 days ago.
Oh,
okay. Was there any like fanfare?
He had like a ribbon that he rode through.
Okay.
Yeah.
But was his mom and dad holding it? Is it got to be?
They
You
got
know,
a selfie stick out here.
was there a
Okay.
band?
I think it is his parents.
No, you
Was there any sort of crowd?
a band? Was there a streaker?
I mean, there's a bunch of people there, but it's the point in Key West,
Was the lady
southernmost
from-
point. So I don't
Yeah.
know if they're there for him or not.
You know what we need it more?
I think I see Tony Palmiani.
You know what we need? Well, he's a ghost now. It just shows up in random photos. It's like the Jack Nicholson in The Shining. You know what we need more of? Who was Mandora Mula? Like, we need that lady with the big bazumas to streak through. She was covered, but we need that at more like sporting events. Like, so as this kid came across the finish line, we need the kissing bandit.
Yeah.
Morticia, or whatever her name was, the big, like she would run through with her big boobies abounds. We need more
Yeah, yeah.
spectacles. San Diego chicken.
I feel like it used to be like a funny joke if you streaked through somewhere new.
do that
Yeah,
now.
now you're a sexual predator.
Yeah.
It would
If you do it.
suck.
Which
It would
you're
suck
not
if
really.
you had one. Let's say you don't drink a lot, right? And let's say you fell on a White Claw Surge, 8%. And you're like, I'm going to take my clothes off and run through this parade. And you do it. Next thing you know, you're tased. You lost your job.
Oh, we would none of that. If there was
Sex
minor,
offender.
yeah,
I'm
sex
saying.
offender.
I'm saying. We could have a rule for streaking where it's like, you should be,
Well, it's not sexual. You're meant to do it as a joke.
Well, I sexually streak. I pump as I'm running.
Like if
That
I-
opens up too much of the whole I'm going to show you my ding dong as a joke. And then, no, that's sexual harassment.
We're done with ding
slippery
dong.
slope.
Yeah. Oh, it's slippery.
Well, is the intent a joke or is it nefarious?
No, I was showing it.
no.
Oh.
I mean, like, if my son saw a nude male or female,
Which would you rather them see?
run through?
A streaker.
It would be funny to us no matter what.
The guy's funnier all the time. Female streakers are not as funny as male streakers. No one can change my mind.
Yeah. Male
no
streakers
one
are
can
funnier.
change my mind. Balls.
yeah.
That's all you need to know.
Male streakers are more funny.
Absolutely. We got time for one more. Man, we've done a lot of bad today.
Yeah,
I just got to say, a lot of bad today.
Hello, Tom, Dan, and Sam. BDM Simone here. # big ol' greasers.
Why? She is now emailing the show and using the hashtag, and apparently you started this. When
Yeah.
did
No, me. You said big old greasers, right?
I don't believe I did.
I think you both may have used the term.
All right, that's
That
fair.
sounds- that
On a
sounds
show.
That's
yeah,
about right.
I believe that.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Congratulations on your wedding, by the way.
Oh, yeah, congrats on
Oh,
getting
yeah.
married, Grazers.
About Tom talking about brides' dads getting credit for paying for the wedding and how there should be an announcement and all that. Well, I am a recent bride, just got married on Sunday.
Congrats.
And there is actually a way that you can tell, and it's on the invitations. When invitations are sent out, you choose what it says. So it could say, Frank and Donna invite you to the wedding of their daughter, Simone and John.
Yes.
Or it could just be, Simone and John invite you to their wedding, or whatever. And if it says something like, Frank and Donna invite you to the wedding of their daughter, that means that they are the ones paying for it, so they are the ones inviting you.
I've seen
So
that.
Yeah.
I've never seen
there
that.
you go.
It's
Dad
an
gets
older
some credit.
school thing.
Hope you have a great day.
Simone, great job. That she's absolutely correct. I have seen this is an older school thing. I don't think you're going to see so much of this now. I will say you'll probably see more of this in more traditional, like Southern families out west, maybe stuff like that. But yeah, I would say like Daniel Reams Dennis and Carol A. Dennis respectfully invite you to the wedding of their son. You know, it would be, yeah, I've seen that before.
But
It's normally for daughter too, not for.
Also, that's like
son.
hidden recognition, and you have to read the actual
Not much
wedding
of a
invitation.
reader, are you?
Well, I never even like.
You
all
want it
the-
on tape. You want it like books on tape.
Well, first, Crystal looks at all our wedding invitations we've
And
ever
just
got-
tells you where
and
to be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just put on the suit and go wherever. So I never see that. I want at the ceremony. Then with the invitation, you don't get the applause. I want the dad to stand up and turn around and be recognized
Okay.
by the group of people.
What about
They-
the end?
They clap.
What about it?
The end? Everybody's too drunk. I want the beginning.
They might
sober.
clap more. They might clap more.
No, but
What
like,
if he gets
people
the-
leave and then it's like everybody's they don't remember it. I want the beginning before the bride even shows
What about
up.
before the first dance when you're going to see them dance for the first time? If they're like, "Hey, just want to let everybody know that we couldn't be here today if it hadn't have been for the father of Tommy
Oh, the
Van."
DJ does it?
Everybody give it up for Thomas Chisholm Van, father of Tommy.
That's fine, and I'll accept it. But I want a more formal. Everybody's sitting there.
Oh, you don't want the
waiting for
DJ to
si-
do it?
No,
He's the only one with the PA.
I want the priest. I want the priest to say
Oh,
it.
okay.
You
The
know, like-
priest, you don't even believe in God.
And then in the because I don't want the wacky DJ doing it. What is it?
Why is it gonna be wacky?
Well,
Yeah,
because
what if
they're
he's
all
like-
wacky.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
Every single one of
I
them.
want the priest because it seems more official, and then the groom standing there, the bride's in the back. She
Bride's
knows.
in the back.
Well, I'm just saying she's waiting to walk the aisle.
Oh,
and then
okay.
they say,
Walk that out.
Mr. Dennis paid for all this. Let's give him a round of applause. Everyone's like,
That's
"Oh,
a little informal to me if they're just like, hey, okay, well, give it
No,
up for
well-
Jerry. He bought the barbecue today.
Well,
All right, yay.
It'll be
Like,
more.
that's-
The priest will say something like, "I want to thank Mr. Dennis for
He's better than
providing this
God."
beautiful, providing this beautiful." He'll say whatever you tell him.
Yeah.
He's paid like everybody else.
Yeah, he really
he's not
is.
doing it for free.
Not mine. My priest was kind of selected by my mom, and I had to go to two different marriage sort of like, hey, we got to talk this out things.
Well, you said to pay him though, right?
No, he did it. 'cause
Free?
Friend of the family. Yeah.
Oh man.
It's because I did it as a favor to my mom, but he did make me go there and talk out my intentions, which I was like, God, old people.
And don't they know? Like, I'm just telling you whatever you want to hear.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not telling you the truth. You know what?
I think I made some joke to my wife about like, I wonder if he knows I just want to bang. Or something. I don't know. You know how I am. I'm gonna make some stupid joke.
It's like assuming that because you swear or you swore on the Bible, you're telling the truth on
Yeah.
the stand. That's stupid.
Do you promise to never get divorced under the eyes of God? My God.
These people are just telling you whatever is best for them, or that gets the person
Why do you
found
get
guilty.
Why do you get off on wielding this power, man?
All right, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back with more corporate time.
All right. We done recording?
Fizzle out at the end,
I
Yeah.
need a intro.